Hi, I'm Lauren Mills. I'm a sophomore, so class of 2026, and I go to Brown University and I'm studying both neuroscience and education. I think the part that I remember the most about, I guess, the experience was my instructor, but I just remember he was really, really kind. And this was my first time ever coding or sort of just like being in like really any like virtual program or internship space in general. And I just remember that he was really kind and encouraging. And even when like we would have to like code online and like I would get nervous because like everyone is kind of watching you code. It was sort of like he made you feel like really, I guess, I don't know, he just made you feel like it's okay if you mess up, but like I also like I'm gonna push you to the extent because I know that you can do it. And it felt really like, oh, like even though like this may not be something that I love to do, I'm really happy that like I have an instructor that like is kind of for my growth and like is there to support me. So that's what I remember the most about the program. And this was the only like sort of like program or internship that I believe I had by the time that I had applied to my school because I think I applied like February. So yeah, so I included it on my college application. So because this was the only program and like granted like it is an Ivy, I know that they're very interested in people doing internships and programs. I'm sure that this definitely helped a lot. And if I wouldn't have included, I probably would have had a different outcome. I put it in my like the common app section for activities, and I believe I like listed it as like number two or number three. That I wanted to be in neuroscience and I knew that I was going to be very medicine heavy, but I love STEM in general. So from like a really like young age, like especially like doing Inspirit AI, even though I knew that I probably wasn't later going to study like computer science or like any sort of like AI thing, I always wanted to have like those tools in my back pocket or like sort of experience to see if I later would want to study it. So I didn't end up taking any computer science classes at Brown because they're infamously very difficult to take. But I think like genuinely like sort of the experience of like saying like, oh, like I love STEM, I'm okay with trying different aspects of STEM that aren't like biochem and physics. So like this year I took engineering and I ended up really liking it, but I feel like I wouldn't have probably been as enthusiastic or like taken the risk to take engineering if I hadn't probably done the program like in Spirit AI, where even though I knew I wouldn't study computer science, just like the fact that I like having those tools in my back pocket. So yeah, maybe I'll take a computer science class later, but probably not now. I think the advice that I give like everyone is sort of like be the most like it's so corny, but like be the most authentic person that you can be. Because what I feel like really set my application apart for most people was that the fact that I was like really honest and sort of like everything that I wanted. And like even if I wasn't sure about something, I would like write that in my application. And sort of something that I did a lot as well was just or advice that I would have is just like be really like truthful. Like if there's something that you love to do, but like for me, like I really love painting, but I for sure wasn't going to study painting in college. I wrote about that in all of my applications, even my personal statement, because it was something that was true to me. It was something that I would like the biggest advice that I would give is like, what's that one thing about you that you feel like you wouldn't be complete without? And even if it has nothing to do with your major or like nothing to do with like what you think a selective college would want, still put that in the application because I think that's what they're really looking for.